my passionate and loyal Scorpio friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Scorpio, there's a charged stillness in the air around you this week. You may notice it as a hush that sits behind your eyes, or as the weight of something unsaid pressing gently against your chest. Old tension lingers, not in the form of open conflict, but as the echo of choices unmade or words left unspoken. It's possible you feel yourself pausing, almost involuntarily, suspended between action and surrender. This isn't quite rest, but it isn't unrest either. It's a borderland between what you wanted to resolve and what you have for now set aside. In this space, your instinct to dig deeper and seek meaning is alive, but it meets a kind of resistance, like water held in a cupped hand. There's longing for movement, but also a subtle pull to wait, to let things settle. You might sense that something within you is shifting, even as the surface remains calm to those around you. It's not always easy to name this feeling, but it's real. It's as if you're holding your own breath, listening for a sign that it's time to release it. In this silence, the week opens, soft, taut, and alive with possibilities hidden just beneath the surface. Within this quiet tension, your current state could be seen through the lens of the hanged man. You may have felt the urge to press forward, to wrestle loose answers from the tangled knots of circumstance, but you find yourself suspended instead. This is not a defeat, nor a surrender born of exhaustion. It is a pause that asks something deeper of you. Imagine yourself hanging upside down, seeing the world from a view you would never have chosen. There's discomfort in this, certainly, a sense of not being able to act as you wish, of having to wait for reality to shift. Yet with this angle comes a peculiar clarity. Old patterns, which might have seemed invisible before, start to reveal themselves from this vantage point. You may notice where you have been holding onto things simply because they are familiar, or where you have grown weary of explaining your motives to those who do not seem to listen. There's an ache that comes with this stillness. It's the ache of wanting to move forward, but sensing that the only real movement now is inward. You may wrestle with frustration, or even with the fear that you are being left behind. But as you let yourself linger in this moment, the world's noise fades just a little. Over time, you might notice that the tension shifts from irritation to a kind of strange peace. In this space, you see not only your external circumstances, but the places inside you that have been asking for a different kind of attention. You do not have to force answers. They are coming, but not by your will alone. The waiting becomes a gesture of trust, even when trust feels uncertain. You are suspended, yes, but you are not adrift. You are held by your own willingness to pause, to see, to let go for a moment of what you cannot change. In this pause, your true self is quietly gathering its strength. It's from this space, this suspended, searching place, that the week's path unfolds. The stillness you have been living in is not empty, nor is it accidental. It shapes the ground beneath your feet, and the week responds in kind. The experience of being held in place, of not being able to move as quickly or decisively as you would like, creates a quiet but persistent tension. This tension does not simply dissolve on its own. It ripples outward, coloring your interactions and your perceptions. As you sit in this space, you may find yourself reaching for what was lost, or sifting through the residue of disappointments that have not yet been named. This is the ground where the 5 of Cups appears, and with it comes a distinct sense of pressure. It may feel as though your recent decisions, or perhaps the decisions of others, have left you looking back at what might have been. There's a friction here, the push and pull between regret and acceptance, between mourning what slipped through your fingers and recognizing what remains. The emotional weather is heavy, at times even mournful. You may notice a tendency to dwell on missed opportunities or to replay certain conversations in your mind. The world around you does not pause to grieve, but you do. You feel the weight of your own expectations and perhaps the sting of letting yourself or someone else down. Yet even as you grieve, you are not alone. The path is marked by small reminders that not all is lost. Some things endure even as others fade. The challenge is to recognize these enduring threads without denying the reality of what hurts. This week's momentum is shaped by this push and pull. The pressure is real, but so is the possibility for movement. The friction you feel is not meant to punish you. It is the friction that comes when old stories meet new possibilities. The world seems to ask you to look at what has been spilled, but also to notice what is still left to be claimed. It's not a matter of turning away from pain, nor of indulging it. It's about giving yourself the space to see both sides, and to let the ache of loss inform, rather than define, your present. The events of the week may not unfold as you would wish, but they carry the potential to change the way you see yourself and your place in the unfolding story. The potential that waits for you is not automatic. It does not arrive simply because you have endured discomfort or because you have felt your feelings deeply. It asks something conscious of you, a willingness to meet the moment with open eyes and an unclenched heart. The invitation here is not to bypass what hurts, but to allow your awareness to transform it. If you are able to be present with the tension and loss, to let the pause of the Hanged Man and the ache of the Five of Cups work their way through you, there is a quiet opening on the horizon. The Ace of Swords enters, not as a solution handed down from above, but as a clear edge cutting through the mist. This clarity is not loud or dramatic. It is the subtle, unmistakable realization that comes when you see things as they are, no more, no less. You may notice a single, decisive thought rising up from the background static. It could be a new understanding about your own boundaries, or a gentle shift in how you speak your truth. The invitation is to let this clarity be enough for now. It does not need to solve everything. It simply needs room to exist. This growth is not about winning or losing, but about recognizing that you have the power to name what matters. Your insight is hard-won, born of the willingness to stay with discomfort instead of running from it. In the light of this new awareness, the path ahead feels less tangled. There is space to breathe, and within that space a fresh certainty begins to take root. You see what you need to see, and that is enough to begin again. The moment is not about triumph. It is about truth and the relief that comes from finally letting yourself stand in it. The week, then, is a quiet arc. First, the suspension, the Hanged Man, where you surrender your usual patterns and let yourself dwell in uncertainty. This pause gives way to the emotional gravity of the Five of Cups, where you feel the push and pull of regret and resilience. Through it all, the ache of what is missing meets the reality of what remains. And finally, if you are willing to stay with all of it, the Ace of Swords arrives, not as a reward, but as a gentle unveiling. Clarity emerges, not in spite of your pain, but because you have let yourself feel it. You move through stillness, through sorrow, into a space where your perspective sharpens and softens at the same time. The week does not demand answers, only your presence. In the end, you discover that being with yourself, honestly and patiently, is itself a kind of resolution. You are not where you started, even if the world looks much the same. Something inside you has shifted, quietly but unmistakably. Let that be enough. Actionable insights for Scorpio this week. Let yourself sit quietly with a feeling that keeps returning without trying to fix it. Try noticing which moments in the day feel lighter, even if only for a breath or two. If a clear thought or truth comes to you, give it space to linger before acting on it. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to pause and breathe. I can face what is here without turning away. My feelings are valid, even if they change. Clarity finds me when I am ready. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.